Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Uncle Shane. I'm your host, Shane. So in my last video, I showed you what I did to convert my camper over to accepting lithium-ion batteries and what that took to do that, which worked out great. But in this video, I'm going to cover what the problems that caused. And not really a problem, but because it was something that I was planning on doing anyways. But I'll go over it and show you what I did to fix that problem. So this is my lithium-ion battery, which this is a storage battery. It's not recommended to be used as a starting motor battery. They say it can damage it because it draws too much power too quick. And that's not what this battery is designed to do. So if you have a generator installed on your camper, you're going to have to do something different about this. So, which wasn't a real big deal for me because I planned on doing this anyways. Back here, this area back here, back up underneath my generator, like there is my back bumper and everything. I got plenty of room right there. I'm gonna get a little bit of steel and make a battery tray, which, like I said, I planned on doing this anyways because I wanted an extra lithium-ion battery. But now I'm gonna make it big enough to add just a regular automotive battery to start my generator, because I'm not gonna buy a lithium ion just to start my generator every couple of months. I'm gonna build a tray back there, and I've already isolated my wires that it basically just ran down the side here, one up underneath, and went to the battery box. Just went through a hole there and then went straight into the battery box. And it was pretty easy to find because I believe this camper was probably sent to another facility after it was built to get the generator installed. But the problem is now that I've swapped to lithium ion batteries and my converter is set up only to do lithium ion, it's not going to charge lead acid batteries. It will probably, but it just overcharge the hell out of them. And like I said, I'm not going to buy lithium ion just to start my generator every so often. So I isolated all the wires. I'm going to pull all these back and get it back to where the battery box is going to be. And then I'll show you what I did, because once this generator is running, I've already checked. The generator is running, all it does is produce electricity. It will not charge a battery. So without a charger, eventually it's going to die. So let me show you what I did inside to fix that. Here we go. I just went down to the local auto parts store and got me this little battery charger. It's just a regular battery charger. It does like, lead acid batteries or gel mount batteries. And it's all automatic. So, when the battery's charged, it'll shut off, which is charged now, and because I just got it kind of temporarily all hooked up, just to make sure everything's going to work. But basically what I did, I took this thing right out of the box and I cut everything off of it, ran the power cord down here into one of my AC breakers, connected it, and then I just used, I'm a poor boy. I just used an old extension cord that I had, connected to the leads and ran it down up underneath here and ran it right out to the side of the camper. And got it connected to the battery. Like I said, just temporary. But and this thing, everything seems to be working right now. And this, like I said, this is all automatic. So as soon as the camper gets power, it'll just come on and start doing its thing, whatever it needs to do. And then it'll shut it off when it needs to be shut off. So, and it doesn't matter what kind of power you're getting, you know, shore power or running the power off of your generator. It's going to be charging that battery. So, the extension cord just comes out here, and I got plenty of wire. I got a whole bunch of wire because it's got to come out here and go down around the corner into the back of the camper back there where the battery is going to be. And right now I just, like I said, you know, extension cord, and just all this, and just got it hooked up to my little battery right here, and been on for a few days. And then now what I got to do is, I've isolated the wires, like I said already, for the generator. These are the generator starting wires, and you know, I got way too much. This is going to have to be cut off and run over to the new battery. And I'm going to build this box big enough to accept another lead acid or lithium ion battery for future expansion. But right now I'm just gonna do this to get the starter motor battery up and running, and then I'll have enough room later on down the road to add the other battery. Well, let me get all this started, and gonna be some welding, gonna be some wiring, but I'll show y'all what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I was doing some editing and realized that I didn't actually film any of the connections for the battery charger that I installed. And it is kind of important. So I got this old one here that's basically the same as what I installed. But what I did, if you look on the prongs, you got a fat prong and you got a narrow prong. That narrow prong is going to be your hot wire. The fat one is your ground. So you need to, you know, where it corresponds with that prong, figure out which one's which. And in this particular one, it's got a white tracer on the wire for the ground. The other side, the black. But what I did, I cut this after figuring out which one's which, and just spliced it, or peeled it back to where I can connect it to the breaker. And then on this end, I didn't need the alligator clips, so I just cut these. Well, you know, make sure you got the positive, make sure you got the negative, keep these wires separate, make sure you mark them. I cut these off and connected it to the extension cord, that little piece of extension cord that I had, which worked out pretty good because it had the correct color code in that extension cord. Which I don't know, for some reason, 12 volt system on automotive, black is negative usually, and red is positive. But in this camper, black is positive and white is negative. So that's what I ended up doing when I hooked it up to the extension cord, which it has a black and a white wire, which worked out perfect. I hooked up the positive to the black, and I hooked up the negative to the white. And after that was done, I came down here. I'm going to hook up the the actual power cord to the distribution box. So I just drilled a hole down there, ran the wires through, ran it down into my DC or the AC panel. I took the hot wire, which I marked and I know which one's hot, connected it directly to the breaker. The other wire, which I know was ground, I hooked it to the ground bar. And now when this powers up, when it gets power, the unit is automatically going to come on just like it is right now. It's on and it's already charged the battery. Then my other wires, my leads going to the battery, like I said, I cut off the alligator clips and I used a piece of extension cord, which I just made a connection. I took the corresponding wires and now they're white. The white is ground and the black is hot. And down at the other end, I'm just going to put, connections on the permanent connections on the battery, and then it'll be set. Well, I just went down the ace and got a little bit of angle. Gonna make the tray out of this. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure you cover up the old Harley back there in the corner. Definitely don't want a piece of slag finding its way over there to Pretty Girl. No, I am your father. We're not building a rocket going to the moon, so it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Okay, got my tray bolted in here, built and bolted down. Just put a few bolts back there on the bumper, over here on the side. And now all I gotta do is finish wiring, and this will be done. Got plenty of room to put another battery here. And if I do, I might build a heat shield to go down around my pipe, but that'll be down the road. And really, this thing doesn't even get that hot anyways, but better safe than sorry. But yeah, I bolted this in because there's a service panel to get to the generator, so I made it removable. Now, even though it looks like there's enough room to actually change the oil and stuff, but just in case. Anyways, I'm gonna call this video done, guys. If you have any comments or questions, shoot me a text. As for now, this video is done. Have a good one, guys.